Today, we're gonna do a little pre-flight yoga. I gotta do a little traveling tomorrow, and I have to tell you, I love once I get on a plane, but the thought of going on a plane totally freaks me out. I'm not worried about it falling from the sky, I'm not worried about anything like that, but the thought of going there, it just freaks me out. And then once I'm there, I tend to be fine, but I'm a big guy, and the seats are really small, at least the seats I travel in. So what I want to do is prepare myself mentally and physically, and I don't want to overdo anything at all, but I really want to be nice and relaxed so I can enjoy the flight and the miracle that it is. So let's get right to this. Today is a pre-flight yoga. Again, I don't want to overdo anything at all. I want to be relaxed, and I want my mind and my brain to be in great condition to really enjoy this flight that I'm going to go on. I'm going to start on the ground today, and we'll just get rid of our breath, and then I'm going to take a few moments and just lie on the ground. So get yourself comfortable, seated, cross-legged, or however you'd like to be. We'll inhale through our nose and get rid of all that stale air, and then I'm going to lie down on my back. So in through your nose and all the way out. And in through your nose and all the way back. And in through your nose and all the way out. Now, for the rest of this time, let's just breathe in and out through your nose. I have to tell you, anytime where even there's a little bit of stress, starting from your breath is the place to start from. You'll feel more relaxed, you'll feel more even, you get your breath under control. It'll help out with a lot of things that you do. So let's just take a moment, and we're going to start in Shavasana. Shavasana is this corpse's pose. You tuck your shoulder blades underneath your head. Your feet go to the four corners of your space. Get yourself a mat. Keep on DMing me on the mat that I use if you'd like. It's a good one for a guy like me. So just take a few moments here and really sort of, I'm going to close my eyes. I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm not trying to get myself at all kind of worked up about anything, but just sort of feel what is touching the ground. Feel how, you can feel how, like I can feel my heels are touching the ground. I can feel how my SI joints are touching the ground. I can feel that they're a little bit off. So I can adjust myself so that the pressure on my back is even. I can feel on my shoulder blades that one on my right side I'm a little bit different. So I'm going to tuck my shoulder blades underneath. And then now I can feel like my forearms that are touching, my shoulders, and I can feel even my head is nice and balanced and even. So from here, let's just do a little bit of breathing, a little bit of box breathing in and out through our nose. We'll breathe in for 5 breaths rather. Hold it for 5 breaths. Breathe out for 5 breaths. Hold it with no air in your lungs for 5 breaths. If you don't like that feeling of no air in your lungs, you can work up to that and just sort of breathe very shallowly, and then catch up again on the breathing in. And as you're breathing, just sort of feel where your body's at. Feel how it is, and you'll start to relax almost right away. Obviously, when you start, get on the plane and maybe you are anxious about flying, do a little box breathing. It always helps out. So in through your nose for 5 seconds. Hold for 5 seconds. And release for 5 seconds. And hold for 5 seconds. And inhale. Hold. Exhale. hold, and inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale. We'll do 2 more times. Hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Now go back to still breathing in that through your nose and just breathe regularly and just see how that's calmed all your body. It's calmed your mind. If you, again, are anxious, maybe you just want to play the beginning of this video at the beginning of your flight. I can already feel that my body's become a little bit more balanced. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my knees to my chest, hold on to them, and then I use pulling my knees to my chest just to straighten everything out. And again, I'm not straining anything, but I'm sort of lining up my spine. Give a nice hold into that. And then I'm going to put my knees together and just do a gentle supine twist. With my right arm out and my right leg to the left side. And I'm not twisting hard because the last thing I want to do is cramp anything. What I'm doing is just relaxing into this twist. I'm letting gravity help me out. I'm letting my body just relax. Just really not straining anything at all. And I'm going to keep breathing into those spots that I can feel any stretching on. And last breath in. And put your knees back to the center and squeeze them into your chest again. Maybe you've got a little extra stretch, but you can really feel yourself straightening up. Now your knees go together and they go off to the right side this time. Just a real gentle supine twist. Your left arm goes out and just look over your shoulder. Although truth be told, I've got my eyes closed. And just let your body fall open. And usually I do this kind of stretch at the end of a video, but this is just sort of because we're not straining at all, I just want to get a sense of where my body's at. And keep breathing in and out through your nose. Maybe a little pop. Last breath in. Once again, bring your knees to your chest and give a good squeeze. Now from here, I'm just going to go up to a staff pose, but a supine version. So my legs are going to go straight above me. I'm going to try to get a nice 90-degree angle right here on my legs, and I'm just going to engage everything. Engage your legs, engage your core. I'm just going to keep on breathing gently. On my next inhale in, I'm going to put my feet down on the floor and just have my knees go back and forth, giving a little windshield wash just to keep everything loose. From here, I'll put my hands down by my heels. I'm going to push up to a bridge pose. Tuck my shoulder blades underneath myself, and where I might push things a little bit more usually. In this case, I'm just going to engage everything. I'm not straining my neck. I've got some good space between my chin and my chest, and I'm just gently pushing up on my hips to give a nice stretch onto my hip flexors. My butt's engaged, but I'm not overdoing it all. I'm going to inhale, go up on my toes, my hands above my head, and just slowly come down onto my back again. And once I'm flat, I'm just going to windshield blade my knees again. And I'm going to grab onto my legs and just come up to a seated pose. Seated here. And I'll go into that easy cross-legged. This is all thinking about that flight. Now that I'm cross-legged, I'm going to just stretch out my lower back. My hips are a little bit. My hands straight to the sky. And we will, for the sake of it, just because I'm here, this is again one of my, as you know, or maybe you don't, is one of my favorite stretches because it stretches my back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to interlace my hands. I'm going to breathe in. And then when I exhale, I'm going to push my hands away, separate my shoulder blades, and I'm going to stretch. I'm going to sustain everything. I'm going to hold, activate my core. And then on my next inhale, my hands above my heads. Maybe you can feel that my chest opens up. And less pushing than I usually do. And not that I'm ever straining, but in this case, I don't want to be strained at all. And then I'm going to inhale, put my hands and interlace them behind my back the other way. And I get some sunshine on my face. And I'm going to inhale and put back my hands to the front. I'll just do this once more, and I'm going to follow my breath entirely. So nice and slow in and out, and that'll just almost lubricates everything. So if I'm in that sort of prayer position, I inhale, I exhale, interlace my hands, push my hands away from me, separate my shoulder blades. I inhale up to the ceiling. I I exhale with my hands behind my back. And I inhale back to that prayer position. So I felt my upper back and my ribs all activate there. I want to go back to where I was for a second and just sort of stretch out my lower back. So this cross-legged bend. So my hands go up to the sky. Your spine goes up as far as it can, again, not straining, and then fall over, hinging on your hips. And let's see what kind of sort of relaxation of your back. And last inhale in, push yourself up, cross your legs the other way. So we're holding a little bit and we're just letting our body fall. So I inhale, our hands above our head. Exhale, we fall over, hinging at our hips, and then our top of our shoulders and our chest follow. And as you inhale, you make some space, and as you exhale, you fall into that space. And maybe your elbows get closer and closer to the ground. Your neck is relaxed, your head is relaxed. You keep breathing in and out through your nose, nice and slow. I inhale, push myself up nice and slow. And let's just put our feet out straight in front of us. And we'll just do a forward fold. Let's have your legs nice and bent first, as much as is comfortable, so you can touch your toes nice and easily. And then as you relax into this, you might be able to shuffle your hips back a little bit. Again, you're hinging at your hips. You're using that as that first major hinge, and then you're letting the top of your body follow over. So there's a stretch in that sort of fascia line in the back of you. So inhale, your hinge, and exhale, you find a little spot, and then you might be able to shift back a little bit more. And this can be a surprisingly strenuous exercise to do. So I'm pushing it a lot less than I normally would, although I'm never pushing it hard. I want to relax into this. I just want to open up my back. And inhale. You can see, let's put our feet together for this butterfly pose. You might want to put a little bit of support underneath your hips. Maybe you've got some blocks or books that you like. You want to keep your back nice and straight. You want to be sort of nice and steady on those sit bones, and your back nice and straight, reaching up. And as close as you can, as close your heels goes close to your, as close to your hips as you possibly can, to your crotch, where you feel a nice stretch. But again, because I don't want to have any feeling of stress or strain on the flight, I'm just nice and relaxed in this. Think of this as an opening exercise as opposed to as opposed to being under any kind of tension or stress. Maybe you can sit up a little straighter. And one last inhale in. And then let's cross our legs over and we'll roll over onto our knees. Now here's a spot that would be nice to have your feet nice and stretched out, because I don't think you should be taking off your shoes and socks on a plane. Shoes, maybe. Socks, no. That's just me. What can I say? Onto our toes, we're stretching the back of our feet. And the way to do this is to really sort of make sure you have your toes are separated. Sometimes you might even need to move your toes around so there's sort of an even stretch on those. And you want to get to a place where it's an intense feeling, but not a painful feeling at all, as always. And you keep on breathing in and out through your nose on this. One of the questions I sometimes get asked is, how do you figure how long to hold some of these poses? And for me, it's a lot about listening to my body, although I know that's going to be a slower a video or a faster one. But in a slower one like this, I find that my body goes through this hold, resist, and then release. So I start on the hold, I wait for the resist to happen, and then at some point, my body lets go and I relax into this. And then I just let it sit there for a little second. Now put your hands in front of you, the eyes of your elbows facing forward, and let's just have a little bit of movement. Make some circles, some big circles. You get a little stretch of your feet as you go back, and a stretch all around your wrists as you go around. Change the direction. Now have your fingers facing your knees, and let's just rock side to side just a little bit. Again, there's no pain here. There's a good stretch on your feet, but not as much as it was before. Maybe your wrists or the heels of your palms are moving up, are off the ground. That's okay. Just moving, swaying in the wind. Okay, and inhale. Just come back up on your toes. Shake out your hands while you're here. One last little stretch for your feet. Untuck your toes now, and we're right into tabletop for a little bit of cat-cow. Nice and stable position. With an inhale, drop your belly as far as it can. Your butt goes to the air, your head goes to the air. And then exhale, separate your shoulder blades, tuck your tailbone, tuck your head, and then move with your breath. So cow, cat, cow, your butt right to the ceiling, and cat. Really tuck your hips underneath your body. And cow. And cat. And cow. And cat. And back to tabletop. Walk your hands forward a little bit more, and we'll just do that puppy pose. So your knees are underneath your hips, your hands are in front of you, your forehead goes towards the mat, and your chest goes towards the mat. You've got a nice straight line. And again, I'm not straining, I'm just sort of letting my body I can feel it sort of just straighten up. I sometimes visualize putting my chest goes towards the mat more, but I'm not pushing it, I'm just letting it fall that way. And last inhale. And then as you exhale, keep your butt in the air, drag your nose along the ground, and we'll end up in a Sphinx pose with your elbows below your shoulders, your feet on the backs of your feet, and just pushing up. You got your butt engaged. If this is at all uncomfortable, maybe you want to open your legs a little bit more. If you really want to stretch, push up into that seal version, just straightening your arms. I'm not going to do that, even though I usually do. I'm just going to relax in this and get a nice, gentle back stretch. And we've done all that forward folding. Now we're doing it having your back go the other way. And at this stage for me, this is a really nice, relaxing, comfortable pose. And truth be told, I have not opened my eyes particularly for this whole time. I just keep on hearing my breath, keep on checking in with my body as I move. And one last inhale. And fall down to the ground. Put your forehead on the back of your hands. And we'll just shake our hips back and forth, just to make sure that nothing is locked up. Now, where your hands were is where we're going to keep them. We're going to put our big toes close together, our hands back, and we're going to push back to child's pose. Our knees are apart, our hips go back onto our heels, and our foreheads go towards the mat, and our chest goes towards the mat. And again, I'm not pushing or straining or anything here. My body is just opening up and letting me fall here. And again, you might want to sort of picture your chest going towards the mat. It doesn't matter that it does or doesn't hit the mat, but as your chest falls towards that, you sort of release your back. You let it allow itself to sort of straighten itself up a little bit. And take one last inhale in, up on our toes, into downward dog. Maybe you want to pedal at your feet a little bit. Again, we're just lining ourselves up. We're stretching ourselves. We want a nice straight line between our wrists, to our elbows, to our shoulders, to our hips. Bend your legs as much as you can in order to keep that straight line. And then what I find to do is I go up on my toes and keep the straight line. And then after I've got up on my toes, I can try to straighten my legs out a little bit more. So up on your toes. And once you've got to that spot where you just feel a nice little stretch, get some good stability, keep breathing. The video hasn't stopped. We're going to inhale, and our feet are going to come forward, and our hands are going to come together, and we'll go into this yogi squat, this malasana. Our hips are wide. I'm getting a good stretch there, and put my triceps, just sort of giving a little bit of gentle pressure. My back is nice and straight. I feel very stable here. Maybe roll out your hands a little bit. And one last breath in. Just shift your weight forward a little tiny bit so your hands can go on the floor. And from here, push your hips up to a forward fold. And let yourself hang heavy. If you need to and want to bend your legs, your knees a little bit, you can step on your hands and then just push up gently. Then inhale, your hands go up behind your back, interlace them. I'm going to do the opposite way that I usually do, and let your hands just fall over your head. Nothing strained here. Straighten your legs as much as you can, but let your top half of your body just relax into this. And inhale once again. Slowly let your hands fall. Crouch down. And we're going to slowly come all the way up to standing. Your back straightens, your arms straighten above your head, your hips kick out. And inhale, your hands come back to that center, that sort of prayer. You can sort of feel yourself very balanced. And then let your hands fall to your side into this mountain pose, which is sort of like we started. It's a Shavasana in that corpse's pose. The mountain pose is you standing with that, with your shoulder blades sort of tucked back a little bit, your palms facing forward. I always think of myself standing on the edge of a mountain. I keep my eyes closed and I look all around me and see this valley below me. It's nice and straight and tall. And there you go. So hopefully that's given you a good base, be a nice way to start off your journey. Your body's all nice and loose. Tomorrow I'll definitely do a little bit of that breathing. Take me with you if you want on your flight. Hopefully you're going somewhere where there's a little bit of sunshine, because there's not a ton up here right now. Hope you feel better, and we will see you in the next video. Always talk to your healthcare professional before starting a new regime. If you experience pain, discomfort, or dizziness, slow down or stop. These videos will become easier each day, but if it doesn't feel right today, go slower or move to another video. Listen to your body.